Is there a light that goes on when I hit record? There appears not to be. Okay, anyways, we're recording, so you can
Okay,
say
how to say
something.
kāmau?
Kāmau.
Kāmau. Are we saying kāmau properly?
Kāmau.
Kāmau.
Welcome to Two Profs and a Brew. With me, as always, is my good buddy Kabi.
And Helmut K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so maybe we'll talk a little bit about our, I don't know, what are we going to call this? Like our show,
Yeah, two props and a brew.
something like
That's
that,
our
right? And
show.
so our first episode was actually a homework assignment for this professional development class. You know, quite a transformative experience.
We are trying to be really hipsters, and we are trying to be famous YouTubers at some point. Watch out.
And then he just has to go and ruin this, right? And so I think moving forward, what we're going to do is basically just do what we do, talk about what we'd like to talk about, you know?
Yeah.
Two Profs and a Brew kind of represents the two favorite things in our lives, right? Being professors and drinking brew, right? And so that's pretty much it. Sometimes we do some home brew. So here we have a mango mead.
Mango mead. I'm looking forward to this mango
It's,
mead.
yeah, so it's this one here is going to be carbonated.
Okay.
Hopefully not overly carbonated. We'll see. And then
Oh, this is plastic. I thought it was a glass bottle.
no, this one's plastic. So it's you can squeeze it for the carbonation
Okay.
level. And then it's been sweetened.
Okay.
And so I actually have about 2 gallons of this. I'm going to get ready to bottle. I'm trying a bunch of different testers to see if I'm going to sweeten or not. Let's just see how this turns out.
Okay.
Also very young.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. It has got some carbon dioxide. Yeah.
Okay, let's see what it's like. So it's not overly carbonated, it seems.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's even a little bit carbonated.
Mildly. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, last time we were correct. So we said, what was it? Okole maluna,
Yeah.
which apparently is the wrong phrase because okole, you know,
Okole.
supposedly translates to bottoms up, right?
Yeah, that's supposed to translate. But okole turns out to be a hole.
Yeah. So
Not the bottom.
Not the, but the
Yeah.
bottom,
Yeah.
but the hole, right?
The hole. Yeah, exactly. The hole.
And so thanks to Kumulelani, she
Yeah.
said the proper phrase is kamau. So
Kamau.
Kamau.
Not now. Or kamau is now or later after we're done.
kamau is cheers.
Cheers.
Kamau.
Kamau. Kamau. Oh, smells good.
It's not
You know,
bad.
what is that taste? You know, the flavor. It to me, it kind of feels like sake.
You know, I don't know. There's like this nuttiness to it. I always describe it as nutty. So basically, it's just mango and honey that we just let ferment. And then I guess when the mango ferments away, like basically, you know, the taste of mango is sweet. And so it seems to just kind of go away. Now we have the essence of mango left. I did sweeten it with honey, so I think the sweetness is helping a little
There's
bit.
a little bit of honey flavor
Yeah,
too.
but I did like your idea of maybe sweetening with mango juice.
Yeah.
And so that would bring back some of that mango flavor. So I might
Yeah.
consider doing that.
Yeah.
But it's not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad, not
It's
bad.
good.
Okay, on to business. So we kind of teach a class, Bio 275, where he teaches the lecture part, I teach the lab part. And in topic of conversation, one of the students mentioned his Rick My Professor page,
Right. Yeah.
right? And
And then, you know, I always joke and I tell about rate my professors in my class. I share with students, and there are some really funny comments there. Some of them are over the board, you know, but they are kind of hilarious. So, you know, some of them are negative but still funny. So I enjoyed reading those, and I share with my students all the time. It's all like open book. So
Yeah,
people
so-
talk about it. So that's okay. Yeah.
so for those of you guys who don't know, doesn't score so well.
I know.
On Rate My Professor,
I
right?
want to get those chilies, but never got one, you know.
Oh, you know, they got rid of those chilies.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. I think
yeah.
it's considered. I think professors were doing a lot of weird things to try
I
to get
see.
those chili peppers. So,
Oh, really?
but anyways, didn't he's not. You're not scoring so well.
Yeah,
right?
I
And
know,
then
I
I
know.
think the students, they wanted us to talk about it. So, this kind of the subject for our first episode. Right?
Yeah, let's go dive into some
Yeah.
good ones and some whatever ugly ones. How shall we do it?
Yeah, we'll just kind of go through. Maybe I'll kind of read some of these to you, and then we can discuss. And actually, it's really interesting that there's this dichotomy where there's a bunch of people that gave you fives and a
Yeah.
bunch of people that gave you ones, right?
One, right.
More
So
ones than fives, but still, it seems to be this clear
there is
distinction,
it's like
right?
two different people. You know, I teach a class, group of students. It's all the same. I'm one person going and talking in a classroom, like, you know, everybody gets the same thing from me, good, bad, or ugly. But clearly, half of the people, you know, think one way it's awesome, the other half thinks it's ugly.
And so that's going to be a very important key here, of course, is trying to adapt,
Yeah.
right, over time. Now, I got to put on my old man glasses now,
Oh, you have to? But then, you know, I don't need glasses. You know, if I drink a little bit more of this one, we'll be fine.
our favorite type of
Yeah.
glasses,
Yeah,
not so
right.
much these
Yeah.
ones. And so let's start off with this one here. This was May 12, 2009. Worst professor I ever had. I worked very hard, only got a C. He seems to know about biology, but doesn't speak English well. Hey, did you know you don't speak English very well?
I've been in Hawaii for over 30 years. I feel like I speak English. However, there is an accent, and I joke it all the time in my class to say that, hey, learning biology, introductory biology is like learning new language. You got to learn vocabulary, you got to learn all these things. So I'm going to teach you biology if you teach me English. Look at my accent, you know?
And actually, that's a comment that was left later, right?
Yeah.
And so this one person here says he plays favorites, and he even gave one student he didn't like an F.
Oh, really? But you know, we never give students a grade. We always say to students that the grades you earn. You can be my favorite student, best student, you still get a poor grade. If you don't perform well, don't submit the assignments, then you get the grade that you get.
And
You know?
that's the biggest thing I always. It is difficult to fail
Yeah.
if you submit and do.
I mean, you know, wouldn't you be really super happy if everybody in your class got an A? I would be thrilled.
I would
I'd
love
have
that.
2 beers like that, you know.
In
so-
fact, I start off all my classes always saying, "I hope you all walk out of here with an A."
Yeah, me too.
Unfortunately, it's
yeah.
not really up to me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You just got to put in the work, right?
Yeah, you gotta
and
put in the work.
we'll be there to help you along the way.
Yeah.
That's really what our goal is, right?
Yeah,
Try to
yeah,
help them
yeah.
as they kind of navigate their way through our class.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, so here's this one then, right? So, professor does not understand English, told the class that he will teach us biology if we teach him English.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
so-
I say so in the class. So, but this is done in a joking way, and I crack a lot of jokes. Sometimes you feel like you have to be a stand-up comedian to grab attention of the students. 1 hour lecture, biology, hardcore stuff, Krebs cycle can be boring to many students. They drift away. So you got to be almost like a
Gotta
stand-up
make the
comedian.
jokes,
You
right?
got to make jokes, right? So that's how I feel.
I think the problem is that you have like grumpy uncle look about you or something like that. And
I know, you know, so, but me, I say the same thing, even slightest mean thing or whatever, critic, people take it wrongly because this old dude is really criticizing my work. He doesn't like me, kind of thing.
this was an interesting one. This person says his life revolves around biology. I never had a professor that knew so much about one subject. I think it's pretty awesome. I took both the lecture and the lab, which I found pretty easy. First, I was afraid of taking this class, but turns out easier than you think. And then they rate you at 3.5.
Oh,
That actually sounds like-
sounds like 5, isn't it?
Right? I mean, you're kind of expecting that. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
let's read a nicely rated one, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh.
maybe they're trying not to be overly.
Yeah,
Praiseful,
maybe,
right?
somewhat like me, you know, not trying to be overly, go overboard on anything, you know, just watch your steps, go a little bit slowly. So maybe.
Yeah. Or they know that we're going to read this on the internet, and they're trying not to. They're saying
anyway.
nice things, but they really mean some bad things, right?
Either way.
And so this one here highlights really interesting, again, this variability of the human population, right? The post was August 21st, 2011, and another one July 28th, 2011. So basically the same semester they took the class, right? This teacher's the worst. He doesn't explain things clearly, only adds to confusion. Course material is hard. Mr. Neopane only made it harder, 1.0.
Okay.
Right?
What was the grade? 1.0?
1.0.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
the one right below that, again, same semester, so it's not like you did anything differently. It's
Yeah.
the same semester, possibly the same section. Best teacher in LCC, if you're not a lazy college kid looking to roll down easy street, then this class is for you, 5.0.
Oh,
Right.
my goodness. So two extremes in the same semester.
Same semester, possibly same section, possibly hearing the same thing. And again,
Well, that is normal. In my class, I usually get half of the people like it, the other half do not like it, but no matter what, I always stress that your grade doesn't matter. In fact, I talk a lot about you, so hey, Dr. K, you remember he's my friend over there? He was a lousy undergraduate student. I never was a lousy student. I had to do really well in order to come to America, right? So you have to do well. He was a bad student, but nobody asks his undergraduate grades anymore because he's the best professor, so come on. So I stress on learning, not on the grades, but
Yes,
sometimes,
yes.
that seems to be too much of a challenge for some people. But, generally, if you stress really strongly, they tend to deliver.
and it's a very similar message in my class, stress process
Yeah.
over results.
Right.
However, good process typically leads to good results,
Good
right?
results,
And
that's true.
and again, this whole, we don't know what their experiences were coming in, right? And some of these, they say, oh, this class is going to be hard. I read my professor. And then I'm always bad at science. I get that a lot, by the way. I've never been a good science person,
No,
right?
yeah,
And so they're already coming in like one step to fail. And then they take their first quiz, they get a 7 out of 10. Their second quiz, 6 out of 10. And all that does is then convince themselves that, yeah, I'm going to fail this class. They stop trying, and then it just goes down, right?
Yeah, especially when you do not know the subject well and you are really the course content is moving fast, you feel lost, and it's not a pleasant feeling to be lost in a classroom. So you feel like you don't like it's unpleasant, and unpleasant things breeds more unpleasant things in the mind. So I think that is what happens to some people. And I also stress in class that hey, confusion is a good thing, and they are surprised. Why are you saying confusion is a good thing? To me, I say, confusion is good because the brain is trying to make connection. It has not made the connections yet, so it is sort of confused. But once those synapses occur, then confusion becomes clarity. It's like clouds, and then now it's a clear sky kind of thing. If you were not confused, if everything was so easy, then did you really learn anything new? You already came with the prior
Exactly,
knowledge.
right.
Let's read some more.
Yeah. I think we're probably talking too much. And maybe we're opening too much of a can of worms. Well, this one here, so there's a few of these, and I think the first one also kind of talked about it, but verified scientific studies with supernatural explanations. Example, verified Mendel's work on genetics by claiming that he was Mendel's assistant in a past life. What is that? What are you telling these students, man?
Oh my goodness, this is my favorite. I stopped after I read this post. I always have a disclaimer before that. Telling a story, I feel like is a good thing. Things stick. Some of the fables, stories that we tell sticks, especially if you are the first person experiencing that. So I thought one day that maybe it's a good idea to tell about Mendelian genetics by saying that I was Mendel's assistant. So and of course I couldn't be Mendel's assistant. The guy died, in 1885, something like that. So and I tell the joke that it was in my prior life that I was his assistant. But then, I take them through how he got involved in the pea plants, about his monastery, about his grades. He was a shy guy. He didn't even want to he wanted to become a teacher, but failed in the teacher's exam, things like that.
Yeah, not everyone can be a teacher.
Not
right?
everyone can be a teacher. So maybe he was like me. I am probably now after thought, right? I tell the whole story about how Mendel did his work, as if I was the first person witnessing it.
Yeah, kind of like that. Which I
Yeah.
think, again, highlights this. This student was probably not doing so well in your class.
Yeah.
And then everything you're saying is just negative. It's
Yeah,
like,
but
have a nice day. Oh, what's so nice about it? Or, oh man, this guy thinks he's freaking reincarnated as Mendel's assistant. What is
yeah,
wrong with this
but,
guy?
to me, this is funny to take it literally that I was, I tell it in a joke. I would assume that everybody would understand it as a joke. But
Oh, let's see. Let's
interesting.
go show some nice ones. Right? This one here actually says Professor Nirupani was so funny and helpful.
So funny and helpful. Okay, that's
right?
good. Yeah.
So it's not like everyone thinks your jokes are bad.
Oh yeah.
I know my wife thinks your jokes are bad, and I'm
Yeah.
sure your daughter thinks
Oh, my
your jokes are
children
bad.
think my jokes are
and
bad.
clearly rate my professor, but not everybody.
I am loaded with a lot of dad jokes, and sometimes my kids point it out all the time.
Yeah. So maybe the message here then isn't don't make jokes. Maybe the message should be it's okay to make jokes, but maybe sometimes say just joking.
Just joking.
Hey guys, I'm joking about
No,
being Mendel's assistant. And so here's one for Bio 275 back in 2018. This
2018. Okay.
Yeah. So this student says, if you're serious about pursuing a BA in science, I think they probably mean BS in biology.
BS in biology or
Yeah,
something.
probably,
whatever,
but
yeah.
that's fine. We got to work at John A. Burns and present research at their medical symposium. Right? Don't miss this opportunity with this awesome prof. And some of those things, I think, another one kind of similar. Those who struggled obviously never went to seek for help. He goes the extra mile for you. Passionate about biology, help you achieve your goals. And so I think these types of things where you want them to have wonderful experiences, and you really try to integrate their learning into what their future can be.
Oh, absolutely. And in some way, it is true that my own personal story that I tell my kids and I tell anybody. Many a times I feel like the students are my extended Ohana, extended kids, so I want them to do well. And in biology, as you know, and I'm really thankful that you and I have really ratcheted this undergraduate research program next level. We are really, this is a way to learn. You can learn biology by doing biology. This is not a spectator sport. You got to be in the ring, and you got to do the research. You got to do the work in order to really understand biology. So we are blessed that we got opportunities. We allow students to participate in research. So that's awesome, and that's really keeps that fire going. There is always one or two students who will say, "Hey, thank you, professor. I got an admission to medical school, or I got this, that, and other things. I graduated." So this is awesome. We got quite a few students like that.
Yeah,
already,
actually, I
right?
got a bunch of emails this year alone for
Right.
medical school admission, grad school admission. Someone just graduated from pharmacy. I'll let you figure out who that
Okay.
is.
I already know.
We
where it
both
is.
know.
Yeah.
But so maybe we can slowly wrap it up here because we don't want this thing to get too long, right? But it is kind of as you're looking through your rate my professor. Of course, there's always going to be ups and downs, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the general scores seem to be trending towards more green scores than red scores.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as we get
And
closer to now.
I
right?
attribute my downfall to your mentoring in a way, in a sense, right? You have been badgering me, they mellow down. Not everything is important. Growth mindset, remember? So in a sense that, and I think it comes with age too, in the beginning, I come from a environment where you had to really struggle hard, you had to ace everything in order to be ahead of anybody. So I was anticipating, expecting everybody to really work hard to make sure that they get their grades. As time progresses, I get older, I have really significantly mellowed down. And I think at least 50% is your contribution to kind of badgering me down. So, and then, I tend to enjoy, positive,
Yep.
negative comments, etc. So maybe that, relaxed professor is a likable professor. Although, once you start losing hair, gray, balding, etc., so you don't look as cool.
And that's the thing. Content doesn't change, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
what you were teaching back in 2011 isn't really that much different from what you're teaching
Oh, yeah, no.
in 2024, right? But
Yeah.
it's maybe trying to just kind of adjusting to the way students have expectations of the class and trying to create an environment, and this person here says, the atmosphere in the class was fun and friendly, right? So just trying to create an environment, a positive learning environment for the students. It's you can see this evolution in your
Yeah,
teaching,
yeah.
the way you interact with students.
I mean, it's all about evolution. It's like in one person's lifespan, teaching lifespan, working lifespan, it's just a biological lifespan. It's almost like, learning about evolution. It's the evolution of a species, but over time things change. Things change for better. Hopefully it is
Yes,
turning for
yes.
better, right?
Exactly. And then of course the students on their part they have to put in work as well. School is
Yeah.
not easy. And so I think one of the things we're trying to do is we're trying to get students to change. Don't come in with your way of doing things.
Yeah.
We're trying to open their eyes and seeing different opportunities, but also different ways to interact with content, right?
And the thing that you do, overemphasis on the grit, on just buckle up and just study for yourself. Building that resilience and grit, people can do anything. These days, information is available in the fingertips, so as long as we can motivate our students to learn for themselves and become lifelong learners, I think we have done a good job.
Yes.
Right?
So on that note,
Yeah.
kākou.
Come out. Come out.
And then what's your favorite phrase?
Huh? Ahuyo.
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 Until who knows when the next time will be. These are not
Oh,
going to
oh.
be super regular.
Yeah,
They'll
we
be
know.
semi-regular.
At some point we'll be famous YouTubers, okay? Ahuyo.